So we know that this pandemic has just had dramatic effects on every part of our lives. Tell us about how the library is being impacted.
Yeah, so along with the rest of the city of Cambridge, our physical buildings have been closed. And I think this is where I feel really proud. Our staff have pivoted quickly to be able to increase and amplify all of our electronic resources, to be able to offer more remote support with reference type of inquiries, and to be able to offer more virtual programs.
Yeah, in better times, pre-pandemic, we know that the majority of the library's funding comes from the city of Cambridge and from the state of Massachusetts. Have you heard anything about the future of your potential budget as we're looking at such a sharp drop in revenues for both Cambridge and Massachusetts?
Yeah, thank you. So I think we've been fortunate in Cambridge. People love the library. I think people describe the library as the Cambridge Public Library experience. So we're really hopeful that we'll be able to eventually get back to our new normal. We have seen, though, a lot of libraries who are suffering across Massachusetts and across the country, actually. So many libraries are experiencing furloughs, as well as some cuts as well to services and to staff. So that, of course, is of great concern to me as a library leader.
Yeah. Well, you know that my mom was a librarian. I always,
That's right.
so I know in good times what a lifeline our public libraries are, and Cambridge absolutely plays a critical role in the community in helping people not only access books and research, but help with job searches has become one of the critical roles of our libraries. So as we are looking to reopen, one of the things we've been working on in Congress is funding through the HEROES Act for state and local governments. For the state of Massachusetts, that would be almost $12 billion. But as they look at a $6 billion shortfall this year, and that 12 billion would be over 2 years. I think that this funding is going to be critical to supporting cities and towns across the district, and making sure that our libraries are reopened and re-envisioned to meet a new post-pandemic world. Well, we know those 370,000 people who work for libraries just have such a huge impact on our communities, and especially on low-income communities. It can really be the resource for children and families.
So in my role, I'm the director of the Cambridge Public Library, but I'm also on the executive board of the American Library Association. And so I can say very firmly that we absolutely need this funding, and I would say even more funding, to be able to allow us to rebuild, recover, and adjust to these new regulations. It will be a lifeline, federal funding, to so many people, including our libraries and our library workers. And with this support, libraries will be able to keep employees working and will be able to continue to provide vital community services, especially for those who need it the most.
Yeah, I think that's the wonderful thing about libraries. They really are the ultimate in making our democracy work and getting information and materials to everybody, just with the power of a library card. You know, not only can you check out a book, but a laptop. And we know that's been such a challenge for so many of our students who don't have access to the technology they need at home to be in school and be part of their virtual classrooms. And connectivity with broadband is another issue that's come up that we know libraries are critical. And we've all seen the stories of people outside of their libraries trying to get that Wi-Fi connection. So
yeah, digital inclusion is such an important part, of what we do, and it's in the HEROES Act is actually is funding for digital inclusion. So I'm really glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, Well, it's a critical piece to make sure that we can help families and communities through this time and on into the future. So I want to thank you so much, Maria, for all the work you do. The
Thank
Cambridge Library
you.
is a very, very special institution and place. And thank you for bringing the perspective to nationally. So we hope that we will be able to pass the HEROES Act to really acknowledge and support our librarian heroes.